the way of Caitlin Clark, yet again making history. She finished her night with 24 points and 19 assists. That set the WNBA record for most assists in a game. She played all 40 minutes in this one, however, coming in a losing effort as the Fever fall in their final game before the Olympic break to the Wings. 101-93 is your final. For more, we welcome in CBS Sports WNBA analyst Tykera Carter. And boy, oh boy, did we have a big-time battle out in Dallas. I want to get to that game in just a second, but we have to highlight Caitlin Clark's efforts on the night. 19 assists. That's the most in WNBA history. She also became the first WNBA player ever to record at least 20 points, 5 or more rebounds, and 15-plus assists in a game. Just how do you encapsulate what she managed to do on the floor in the history that she made Wednesday night?
You truly cannot. Like, she is incredible, especially in her rookie season. She continues to raise the bar. She pushes the ladder. And a lot of people, they said her game might not translate as far as being a facilitator, but we're seeing it night in and night out. 19 assists. And she passed Courtney Vandersloot for that record, someone who is also up there in the history books where she's second all-time in assists in the WNBA. So to have your name in that company, you're in conversations with the Sue Birds of the world. You just can't truly encapsulate what Caitlin Clark means to this game and how well she has played when it comes to finding her teammates, when it comes to probing, and when it comes to continuing to raise the bar. 19 assists is just elite. That's as simple as that.
Looking at just what she's been able to accomplish so far, we're nearing that halfway point. We just passed that halfway point of the season, but just how much more do you think Caitlin Clark can continue to do in her rookie year in the W?
Well, they ought to be scared because she's about to get a little bit of rest now. It's about to be the break. She's not on the USA Olympic team. And so that's more fuel to the fire for her to get back home. She can get her mind, back in that place where she's going to continue to ball out after the break. And I think sky is the limit for what she can do, quite literally, as we already seen what she's done in the first half of the season, where she's just breaking records night in and night out. We would need 2 shows to probably go over all the things that she's been able to do so far in just her rookie year.
Yeah, you said a lot of people wondered if her being a facilitator, if it would translate to the WNBA. Well, she was facilitating all night Wednesday night, putting up that historic mark. But this game finished with a back-and-forth battle to the final minute. The Fever at one point trailing by as many as 16, struggled with turnovers, but managed to turn things around in the second half, but couldn't close it out in that final minute. But what was just your reaction to this thrilling finish?
I love the pace of the game, and my reaction to that was like, if you are a true basketball lover like yourself, the people who are probably tuning in and watching tonight, it means a lot that we see the game has grown to where the women are getting up and down at such a high pace and elite level. And my reaction was, Arike Ogunbowale, she's a gamer. She's been that. But Odyssey Sims, I love her addition to the Dallas Wings roster, bringing her back because she was also the driving force behind the Dallas Wings being able to bring that one home. And then on the other hand, the Indiana Fever, they just have a never say die attitude. Although they came up short in this game, you mentioned how they trailed by 16 points. They didn't let that affect them. They continued to push. They tied the game late in the fourth quarter. They went ahead. It was such a back and forth contest. That is what you truly call a fun all around basketball game.
So we have quite the Rookie of the Year race brewing. Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, they're both vying for that honor. I'm going to be honest, you said it would take so long for us to talk about that game. Well, it's going to take a lot to talk about what they've been able to do to just run through those records and milestones they've surpassed this year. But in your eyes, who has the edge at this point right now as we head into the Olympic break?
So I would say after this game, I'm giving it to Caitlin Clark. And I say that because she also has 14 double-doubles. So we talk about how Angel Reese, she had those 15 consecutive. She had a double-double last night against the Las Vegas Aces, so she's going to try to restart her streak with the points and rebounds. But Caitlin, she leads the league in assists. She just had 19 assists in a single game. She had that triple-double to her name right now, too, the only rookie in WNBA history to be able to do that. So I just feel as though, as far as milestones go and the thing that she's been able to surpass so far this season, it's a little edgier over Angel Reese at the moment, but I still think it's going to be tight, and we'll see how they both come out after that All-Star break.
Yeah, still they have plenty of games to go, but my goodness, what these two players have been able to accomplish just in their early start of their rookie campaigns has been incredible. Caitlin Clark minus 2,000 odds to win Rookie of the Year. Vegas right on par with what you're saying. Meanwhile, for Angel Reese, plus 700. All right, let's switch gears a little bit because we had a trade go down on Wednesday. The Sun acquiring Marina Mabry in a trade with the Sky. Just how much of a boost do you think that she's going to provide for Connecticut?
Well, you have two edgy players who are going to be teaming up together, Dejanay Carrington and Marina Mabry. And I think after having that third loss to the New York Liberty this season, the Connecticut Sun were like, you know, enough is enough. We need another dog, and we got to get Marina Mabry on our roster. So I think it's a great addition as far as someone who can spread the floor and knock down shots. And then she's also a player who, again, is going to bring that toughness and that edge that they sort of need. So I like that trade for them specifically. For the Sky, I think that's a big loss, but they're more so, I think, going to try to build around, if I had to guess, Angel and Kennedy Carter, what they've been doing, and see how can they work that for the future, since they got some players and draft assets out of it.
Yeah, the rich getting richer in Connecticut, and this is a team that, you know, when you look at the Liberty and you're looking at the Aces, the Sun also right there in that mix, and looking to hopefully this trade push them over that hump. Ty Carter, we appreciate you stopping by as always. Thanks so much for the insight.
Thanks for having me.
And heading into the All-Star break, the Olympic break, here's a look at the latest odds to win the title. The team with the best record in the W, the Liberty, tied with the defending champion Aces with the shortest odds at plus 155. Then a big jump as they're followed by the Sun at plus 800 and the Lynx at plus 900. Hey, if you're feeling a little froggy with the fever and Clark coming up short, here they are at the podium post-game.
Having the behind for the entire game, you guys got tied up when you hit that 63-63. Then she comes back, hits the three. What was working for you guys in the third quarter to kind of cut down that lead?
I honestly think just pick and roll. Like, we were getting whatever we wanted to the rim, and like AB was sealing really well. Like, offensively, we were able to get whatever we wanted all night. It felt like it was just our defense. Like, we gave up 28 points off turnovers. I think 20 of those were in the first half. And like, so that really kills you to start the game. And just got to do a better job of taking care of the ball. Like, give up 100+ points, you're not going to win very many games. Like, that's just the reality of it. But we did a pretty good job of hanging with them and probably gave people an entertaining game. It was fun there in the last 4 minutes. It was pretty back and forth, I guess.
She's going to say it means nothing, but I think it's pretty cool. I think that's pretty cool, so it's all right.
I just think I just try to set my teammates up for success. I think at times, like, I can almost overpass, and that can maybe, I don't know, there probably could have been a few times where instead of passing that leads to turnover that I may have, I can probably shoot the ball, but especially with AB, like, I'm just looking to set her up so much. Like, my eyes are just always on our post players, whether that's Liz or whether that's AB or whoever's in the game at the time, and then kind of look out from there. But yeah, I mean, we still didn't shoot it very good from three, and you know, I thought we finished really well around the paint. I'm sure our points in the paint were pretty good, 62 points in the paint. So yeah. Yeah, the late turnover definitely kills, for sure. It's like a fine line of, they were up pressuring me, so then I kind of got behind them and was able to attack, and then I tried to pull it out and kind of lost my handle while getting poked from behind. So that one definitely killed. And I think I only had one turnover in the second half, and we'd done a pretty good job of taking care of it a little better in the second half, but that one's really costly and you can't have it. So from that point, it's pretty hard to win a game once it becomes 3 possessions, and that point we had it at 2. So, but it is what it is, I guess.
Caitlin, can you tell me a little bit about the growing chemistry you have with Melissa Smith specifically?
Yeah, I think Liz does a really good job of putting herself in a position where she knows she can get the ball and then go and finish. She had, I think she runs the floor really well, especially in transition when we get it off a steal. We've had quite a few plays this year, where they're just really exciting and the crowd kind of goes crazy. So she finishes really well around the rim. She's just so athletic. She can just make plays that a lot of 4 players in this league cannot make, just because of her size and the way she can move. So I think I'm just always trying to set her up, whether it's her being in our short corner spot or running to the rim. Those are positions that I can put her in to be successful.
What do you think about?
I'm sorry?
What do you think about Melissa's development?
Yeah, I feel like Caitlin said it best, just Liz being able to do a lot of stuff that other fours can. I think she's always at an advantage, especially on the offensive end. She runs the floor really hard. She rebounds the ball really, really well. And so, I mean, she's just that player for us.
Hey, Caitlin, how do you build?
Take a break.
So it's like some of the things that you saw in the game that you can carry over this season.
Yeah, it's hard because I don't play for a month, so not much building to be done. But I don't know, like for me, it's kind of frustrating. Like I feel like we've left 2 games out there that are very winnable for us going into the break, whether the Mystics at home and then obviously this one. And then we've won other matchups that are really tough for us. The Lynx on the road, Mercury on the road, Mercury at home, Liberty at home, and you lose 2 that probably you should have won, especially the one at home versus the Mystics. So for me, that's frustrating. So I think that's the biggest area for our team to grow in this last 14 games of the year is, you can't leave these opportunities on the table. Right now we're back and forth between 7th and 8th place in this league, possibly dropping to 9th, depending on how, it goes from day to day. So every single game matters, and you don't want to have to look back at the end of the year and be like, dang, like we left some out there that we could have easily got. So I think that's the frustration part for me, but you just use it as motivation and you're right there and you're really close. And like I said, pregame, like we put together like 2 quarters or 3 quarters. Like we really are struggling to put together 4. So I think that's an area that we can focus on going into the last 14.
That's time for 2 more.
Do you feel like it's just the chemistry you're still learning, from each other? So find a play.
Yeah, I think it's that. I think at times we have our offense is really good, and then for a quarter it like gets a little stagnant, or our defense is really good for a quarter, and then the next quarter it's not as good. So I think it's just our consistency overall. But you can tell our chemistry is really coming along, and we're playing a lot better. If you watch our game from the beginning of the year, one of like our first 5 games, and you watch the game now, like you would think we're a completely different team with completely different players. So got to give our group a lot of credit, our coaches a lot of credit for everybody just really buying in and continuing to improve. And, our goal is obviously to get back to the playoffs. Haven't been there since 2016. And right now we're in a position to do that. So that's exciting and that's something to build off of. But at the same time, we just know we can be so much better. And that's what we're looking forward to.
Next one's going to come on Zoom. Alexa, go ahead.
Hey guys, just kind of going off that point, Aaliyah, maybe if you want to chime in too. I know you wanted a different result today, but if you could take that like big picture look, I mean, can you take in a lot of positives from just especially this month of July, what you were able to accomplish and put together and the chemistry you're able to build, and how much confidence is even, in light of tonight, do you have moving forward?
Yeah, I mean, we've won some pretty big games this month, and I think that shows that, one, we can compete with the top team in the league, but I think it also shows that we have to be ready every single night. Like I think Caitlin said it best, like 2 games that we definitely dropped that we should have won. But I think just looking into the remainder of the season, like when we come back, we just have to be ready to compete because these are the last 14 games that we have, and we are trying to make it back to the playoffs. And I think we are in a good position, but we just have to make sure that we're able to capitalize on all these games.
All right. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, guys.
Well, Aaliyah Boston saying Clark is going to say it's nothing. She was right about that because what she's done is pretty incredible, especially considering she's just a rookie. Just 26 games into her professional career and consistently adding her name to the record books. This time